What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's having a good evening. Welcome to another fantabulous stream, Daily Vape TV stream, whatever you want to call this thing that I do on Wednesday nights. But yeah, we're going to talk about some vape stuff tonight. We're going to talk about some other stuff. I mean, whatever you guys want, really. I mean, this is just as much my show as it is your show. So let's pop the chat in real quick. Get everyone's chats going. Hope you guys are having fun, having a good evening so far. I know I am. I'm in a good mood tonight. Feeling very positive. And yeah, hope you guys are too. I got my my G Fuel slushy here. Gotta refresh the palate. Sometimes, you know. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at chat. How's everyone doing? Let's get some shout outs rolling. We got Puddle Jumper 84. First one in. Big shout out, my dude. Bronco Monk is here as well. Jennison Designs. Hello. Lovely moderator / patron. Jenny, you pay 90p a month to work for me. Wow, I feel bad now. I feel like I owe her some special shout out. Make sure you guys go follow her design page, Jenny Sin Designs, on Instagram. I'll even show it off for her. She's going to be embarrassed, I hope. Let's see. Jenny Sin Designs. Ooh, there it is. Boop. So yeah. Go take a look at her Instagram, you guys. Oh, focus. It's focusing on the reflection there. She needs some love. Show her some love. She's got some good designs. Whoa. It goes all wonky when you... Oh, why does it do that? That's annoying. Wait, there's me. Look, there's me, you guys. Look, from my other channel, my Twitch channel, Slightly Buzzed. Some emotes she made for me. She's very talented. Look, it's the Vaping Misfits. And the face recognition, she's so good, the face recognition on my camera is kicking in whenever I show pictures of people's faces. That's how talented she is, guys. So, there you go. Make sure you go throw her a follow. Yeah. Bob Shorkey, hello. Voodoo1013. How's it going, Sharon Godshall? Yeah. Wait, I'm a slumlord? Oh, no. Oh, shit, we got a Thesis in here. What's going on, Thesis? Sweatshop. Oops. I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, what's up, everybody? This music is still loud, or is it just me? Turn it way down. Is it working? It says monitor and output, but I don't know if it's actually doing it. Because every time there's an update to Streamlabs, it likes to just change my settings on me with me not doing anything. Found out I was trying to stream at 2500, a bit rate of 2500, even though I'm streaming at 1080p. So yeah, that's good. Right. All right. Jenny says she pays to be a member of the Secret, Not Secret Coffee Morning Talking on Zoomy. Otherwise, I get FOMO. Fear of missing out. Really? Our coffee talks consist of Canadian politics and or geography for all the awesome patrons I have from Canada. And a bunch of random video game and tech stuff. Mostly us asking Enders how to fix our computers. That's Enders of the game, by the way. And a bunch of random crap. But it's good. It's fun. And if you're a patron, you should definitely check them out. Because it's fun, I guess. Coffee talk is too early in the morning. Sleep on the weekends. I usually do it at like 11 or noon my time. If you're West Coast, it's like 9 a.m. That's not that early, is it? I mean, I guess it's a little early. Well, Bob, you gotta maybe plan on hopping in late. You know, I'd go till about 2:30 my time, which is right when I got to get ready for Sabs. So if you could pop in anytime in between then and then, that would be cool. You're Central. You're only 1 hour earlier, and you can't handle 11 o'clock or 10? Damn. You like sleep more than I do. But then again, I'm on that like hustle life right now, I suppose, which I'm getting like an average of 5 hours of sleep per night. But it's the grind, you know? So yeah, let's go ahead and get going here. First of all, if you guys didn't read the title or see the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about this little guy. This guy. This little guy right here. Oh, you know, you kind of tried there, camera. Here we go. It's the Kylin Mini V2 from Vandy Vape. There's the logo on the tank. You'll see that in greater detail in just a bit. So, it's on good. I always hit my vapes when they're not on, because I do this show pretty much right when I get out of work. So I get out of work, I come home, get the stream ready to go. I wish I could do it earlier, but this is literally the earliest I could possibly do it. But yeah, we're going to be talking about the Kylin Mini 2 today. Vandy Steel. Oh boy. I hear Thesis has some strong opinions on this. Well then, it should be a good stream then. Thesis, stick around. I might need you later. So let's go ahead and we're going to switch to the more serious camera here. Okay, it's serious time. The music's off, so you know it's about to get serious. So yeah, thank you, first of all, very much to Vandy Vape for sending this my way for the purpose of making this video. And thank you guys for tuning in once again. But yeah, we're taking a look at the Kylin Mini V2. Now, we have the Kylin M, the Kylin Mini, the Kylin Mini V2. I'm probably missing something in there as well, because there's like 5 or 6 versions of the Kylin at least right now. And I feel like it's only been like a year or 2 since it came out originally. So, let's start off with the basics. I gotta get back on a structured format when I do these videos, or at least the first half of these videos. So I'm going to go over and check out a popular retail website, which you can purchase this at. And if you want to know which website I'm looking at, you can check out my website. Immediately following this video, I will have links to which you can purchase one of these if you so choose. That's the only way I'm allowed to post links anymore, because YouTube doesn't like vape links. So if I link to my own website down in the description and you guys click that link, that's where you can find the links to actual products. So for anyone that was confused about where, you know, the links went, that's where it is. So first of all, this one comes in a variety of colors. Actually, it's not even showing me all the colors. Boom, thank you. Color. So it looks like there's 6 colors in total. You have a gunmetal, a frosted gray, rainbow, gold, matte black, and stainless steel. I have the matte black version, as you saw there. So 6 color choices to choose from. It's going to retail for $32. And let's go over quickly the specs. 25 millimeter diameter, 5 mil refill capacity, Pyrex glass reinforced tank, superior 316 stainless steel chassis, threaded top fill system with dual fill ports, postless build deck, two deck based terminals. Deck-based terminals. Okay, wow. Side secured with Phillips screws. Actually, they are Allen head screws. At least mine are. Single coil installation, peak insulation, adjustable dual slotted top airflow, ventilates 270 degrees around bottom of coil. Ooh. threaded 510 connection and available in 6 colors. Okay, so now with that out of the way, let's just go ahead and we'll dive down to the close-up view and we'll get a better look at this guy. So I got to turn my little light on over here and we'll dive down to the table camera. And since I have face cam on build cam thing, whatever this is called now, we're going to adjust it a little bit so you guys can see me while I do this. And there's my phone. And as you can see, I have a bunch of notifications. So we have a vapor towel just in case, but we might need it. So here's the box. This is the Kylin Mini 2 box. It has a cool looking logo on it, and it's shiny. And I need to adjust the focus because I think I left it in manual focus last time we did this. Oh, my poor webcam's gonna have a heart attack. Camera control, focus, stoop. Alright, let's do it that and move that over here. So okay, Kylin Mini 2 RTA, as you can see, color indication up here in the corner. Vandy Vape logo in embossed gold. Sample. Vandy Vape full steam ahead. Sample. And on the back we have the normal stuff. Oh, why do you keep doing that? This thing keeps turning off on me for some reason. I don't know. It's just a cheap little Chinese thing I bought off Amazon for the little... Yeah, okay. You just don't even want to bother with it tonight, huh? You just don't want to have any part of this? Okay. That's cool. Technology. Gots to love it. I could bring in my other light, but I don't think it's even worth it at this point. Kylin Mini 2 RTA, blah, 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 spare bag of parts, and product info, or company info, rather, there. No, I thought I said I had the stainless one. I could be wrong. I have the stainless one. I don't have the black one. Here's the drip tip that it comes with. And if you couldn't tell, I don't like the drip tip that it comes with because it has this little hollowed out, not a hollowed out part, but I don't like it. I just don't like it. It's just too bulbous. We'll call it bulbous, and there's cat hair on it. Of course, because there's cat hair on everything I own. We have the straight glass piece. For those of you that are just a glutton for punishment and love filling your tank every 5 seconds, we have the little step thing, which is a ripoff of the coily tool, originally by Simon from the UK. Big shout out to Mr. Coily. But yeah, as you can see, little step thing with the indication where you could cut your coil. It's nothing new. You guys have seen this before. Get underneath here, we've got a coil. It's a pre-built fuse Clapton coil, 24 blah 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 blah. It's Kanthal 6 wraps with an inner diameter of 3.0, which we'll talk about that later. We have a 510 adapter. We have a spare grub screw, couple spare grub screws. We've got an Allen key and a whole slew of O-rings, because you know, O-rings. And no paperwork, no nothing. Maybe they did it in the full retail, but they did not supply me with anything extra paperwork-wise. Not that it's necessary in the sample. So there you go. There's the box and what's inside. Put that over there. Let's have a look at the Kylin Mini V2. And don't mind the blinking. That's like my RGB on my PC. But here is the tank itself. I have replaced the drip tip. Most of your drip tips, 5 or 810 ones, will be raised slightly. It has to have a really short base to the drip tip in order to work with this guy here. Why do they do that? I don't know. To keep the size down, perhaps? But I don't know. I really don't like the drip tip that it comes with, so I'm a little bit upset by that because I can't use some of my favorite drip tips. Just trying to clean it as best as I can on the fly here. We've got an O-ring that holds the drip tip in place, so if you find one that fits, hey, That's cool. The little, not knurled, I don't know what you could call that, sharp bits, we'll just say it's sharp. Lots of sharp things up here. Sharper than a reverie. This comes off with a couple of twists. Very old school way of opening a tank, in my opinion. I always have been a big fan of like quick release, bayonet style, slide open, pretty much anything except for 3 or 4 threads on this thing. Maybe one big chunky thread. That would even be better than this. But I'm just nitpicking now. You can see the fill holes at the top. They're kind of weird because they're recessed and they're angled. So I haven't been able to fill this thing past those. I'm not sure if you're supposed to or not, but no matter what, whenever you put a threaded top cap on, it adds pressure to the system and then can cause your tank to leak. So yeah, fundamental problem there. But let's go ahead and put that on, because even keeping your tank open for an extended period of time can cause it to leak as well. Yay! Which I'm alluding to something if you guys haven't figured that out yet. We have the little grippy bit right here on the side for the airflow control. And then we have the airflow control itself, which is adjustable with a million little holes right there. Is it any smoother because of those holes? No. Why? Because it's indirect airflow. I mean, maybe a tiny bit smoother than a gigantic gaping hole there, but not by much. It's kind of a ripoff of, which one was that? The Dead Rabbit? I think it looks like the Dead Rabbit. Or there was another tank that looked almost just like this. Pretty sure it's a Dead Rabbit. I'm going to have to go back into my gear and have a look tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's a Dead Rabbit. If any of you notice it in chat, let me know. And apparently Thesis loves threads. I'm glad you like threads. This is the tank for you, buddy. So let's go ahead and, well, yeah, okay. So take it off of here first. And there's a little engraving. Look at there. There's juice on my finger. Glad we have a paper towel. There, there's little angles here. You can't even, yeah, you can kind of see them right there. That assist with the flow of the liquid down into the tank from the juice flow at the top, which is, you know, kind of logical. Not really 100% necessary, because it would find its way in there anyways because it's liquid. But there you go. That's what they did. And you can see the little engraving on there. And here's where my hands get covered in juice. And before you say anything, no, I will not be building this tonight. Let's adjust the focus a little bit here. Not zoom. Actually, maybe a little zoom. Okay, let's adjust the focus in bit here. Looks pretty good. So it has the old skate rampy kind of style thing going on here, the half pipe with the holes in the side. The slightly more limited number of holes here. So take notes here, guys. You have a bunch of holes in the top cap and limited holes here. So what does that mean? It means it's going to add pressure and be more restricted. So the upper airflow makes it seem like you have a ton of airflow, but the lower airflow makes it so that you really don't. It's a restricted lung at best. But there you go. You have like the little undery bit airflow as well. It kind of gets up under there, sort of. Any residual airflow that hasn't already kind of just shot straight in through the sides here, through these numerous holes, will end up down here in the middle of the coil, which, you know, kind of smart, I suppose, because, yeah, I mean, the middle of the coil gets hotter, therefore it needs more cooling, but it's also an uneven airflow. You're getting more side and more bottom center, so it's not really even. Meh. But yeah, I'm kind of rambling now. You can see the Allen screw right there. You can see how I dangled the old cotton in there on either side. And this is a little bit tricky because there's nothing keeping that cotton in place. So you just have to kind of glue it in. And if it's too thick, then it won't thread on correctly. If it's too thin, it will leak like a sieve. You can only have your legs going over and under in one direction. So unlike other single coil postless decks like the Recurve, this one here, cat hair again. Damn, freaking cat. The coils on this one have to go over a certain way, and it's actually the reverse of what I normally build. So normally I have my last wrap go over the top, whereas this one here, it requires you to kind of wrap underhanded, which I don't like because I don't wrap underhanded. But there's the coil in there. It's multi-core fuse Clapton, I think, from Coilology. One of those Coilology coils I got way back in the day that I'm still using today. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I placed the coil directly in the middle of everything. And I also made it a 3.5mm coil. Why? Because I want those air holes to be directly on the coil. And the way to do that is to decrease the size or the space between the hole itself and the coil itself, the outside of the coil. So I would have actually preferred a 4 or possibly 4.5mm inner diameter coil for this guy, because that's where I like to place my coils in front of the airflow holes, like probably no more than maybe 2 to 3 millimeters tops in between the hole, outside of the hole, and the outside of the coil. So I wish I made a bigger coil, basically, is what I'm trying to get at here. But that's basically how it works. I mean, there's nothing super fancy going on. Kind of interesting, unique machining. And you can see the kind of underflow there of the air. It goes all the way through. Or does it? Yeah, it does. Oh, there. Okay, now you can see it. Yep, you can see all the way through it. And the markings at the bottom, really nothing special. You can't even see it because it's so covered in juice, but yeah, basically says Kylin Mini 2 and all that good stuff. All right. Rambling once again. Oh, man. Hands covered in juice. So, I've been having an issue with this one. Like I mentioned with the wicking, if it's too tight, it won't thread. If it's too loose, it will leak. And that's kind of where I'm having my issue. Because, come on. It's you know, one or the other with this guy. There's really not a lot of margin of error. And as you see me struggling to put the tank back together, there it goes. Finally sealed back up. Oh, no, it didn't. A couple more cranks. It locked into place. That's what it did. Oh, or did it? I don't know. Ugh, now my hands are covered in juice. Juice absolutely everywhere. It's a mess. It's a mess, you guys. Horrendous mess. I have juice literally everywhere. Paper towel is saturated. So it's a very, very, very messy tank to deal with. It's a very leaky tank to deal with. You have to be a pro at wicking to be able to get it right with this one. It's either going to be too tight or too loose. You got to know exactly how much cotton, you need. And now my tank is pretty much empty, so I'm going to have to refill it, which sucks because every time I refill it, it leaks. So yeah, There's enough juice in there to get through the rest of this video. Let's go back to the other screen. Hold on. Whoop, boop, and boop. Main cam. Let's go. Angle it back down a little bit so I can relax, chill, and all right. Oh, airflow is completely closed. Right. I like about 3/4 airflow because for me, this is a restricted lung draw tank. It's not a mouth to lung. It is not a complete direct to lung because it's a single coil. And I think that a single coil, you should be able to rock at slightly lower wattage than you normally would a full-blown dual coil tank. All right. So, as far as what I feel, what I think about this tank. Yeah, no cat tonight. No cat behind me. She was already in here earlier. She pissed off because I wasn't paying attention to her. All right. What's going on? 808 Kevin K, Mowgli Vapes, and Sam. Sam's here. We'll be running some Modern Warfare after this, so stay tuned for that. But yeah. Let's talk about this tank. As you heard me complain about in the close-up section, it leaks. So, a little bit disappointed there because I kind of had high hopes for this thing. I thought this was going to be my new go-to kind of little smaller form factor sub-ohm tank. I think it looks pretty nice on the little mini Vapresso Gen Mini. What is this? Gen Nano? I forget. Gen Nano. That's what it is. So, as I mentioned, the multiple airflows on the top cause somewhat of a compression in the chamber because more air is being let in than can go into the air holes at the bottom. Okay? So it kind of causes a bit of a compression, and you ever get that feeling like if you it's so hard to explain. You ever plug your nose and push and like pop your ears? It's kind of like that, but backwards is the feeling that I get when vaping on this thing. It's like I have to pull so hard to get it to go, to get it to like actually cool down the coil, but at the same time I feel like I shouldn't have to pull that hard because the opening at the top is bigger than the opening at the bottom. So it's either cut the airflow off at the top to equal it out, but if you run it wide open, you get a much less fulfilling hit. It just doesn't really fill your lungs as much. So, I don't know, man. I'm kind of on the fence about this one, about the actual technology of the airflow itself. Like I also mentioned, the airflow cooling from the side up at the top of the coil and then towards the middle in the bottom of the coil. It's not that it distorts the flavor at all, but it doesn't provide a full flavor picture, if that makes any sense. Like, it doesn't really give you the full flavor as it could if it were either a side airflow or a bottom airflow. If they had just picked one to go with this and have the chamber kind of wrap around it and make the air do what they want it to do instead of trying to make the air do 8,000 things at once, then I feel like it would have been better. Thesis says, sounds like a garbage tank from Vandy Steel. Well, we haven't even gotten to the best part yet, Thesis. The leaking. Like I said in the close-ups, if you're not an expert at wicking, this one's going to be tricky. So Stan has 0 shot of enjoying this tank. No shot. He's going to hate it if he gets to try it, because wicking on this one is a pain. I tried it the first time, and it was too thick. So I thinned it out a little bit, and it was still too thick. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I have to shorten it. So I shortened it. I felt like it was too short. And they really don't give you any guidance on the... They should have like a length guide or something for the length of the cotton that you need sticking out of your coil. But obviously everyone's coil is going to be different, so they obviously can't do that. But I just really wish that there was like a... You know, if your coil is this many millimeters, then this is how much should stick out the side. And that's where like a little booklet or a little piece of paper in there would come in handy. Because for every like millimeter your coil is in width, then the length of your cotton should be X. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm really disappointed in the overall performance and the leaking of this because of the wicking issue. I guarantee it's partly my fault for the leaking issue, but I just if I can't get the wicking down on something for the week that I've used it, it's not a good thing. It also could have something to do with the fact that the top has like 4 threads on it, and by the time you get it off and then fill it and then put it back on again, it adds the pressure to the tank and just kind of allows it to just kind of flood all the way through. But the first time I filled this thing, literally just filled it up, capped it, tried to vape on it, and got a mouthful of juice. I was like, wow. That chamber really flooded. So it was a bit disappointing there. Overall, just not my favorite tank. Just have to say it's really not my favorite thing. Oh, I meant to see if we ever figured out what tank this looks like. I'm pretty sure it's the Dead Rabbit, or it was oh my god, from the outside there was another one. Matt Suck My Mod did one with Tofo that looked a lot like this one too. Forget what that one was called, but yeah, that one looked a lot like this from an outside perspective, at least. And someone said buffering. Does anyone else get buffering? I will definitely not be drilling it out. It's just one of those things where I probably just won't use it, unfortunately. Yeah, lots of vape shops definitely used to have a drill press. That is for sure. I've done it at home before. It's kind of sketchy if you just have a handheld drill, though. Kylin mesh, yeah. Well, yeah, obviously looks a lot like the Kylin mesh. Now they're just ripping themselves off. Oh, Mowgli, that was such a dad joke, dude. But yeah, and that's pretty much my story with this. Overall, I'd say give it a miss. There's other RTAs that I've been looking at that I would be more interested in. What's that one from Bogan? The mouth to lung one that Bogan. I kind of expected them to go kind of more of a mouth to lung hybrid with this one, but I don't think there's a way to do a mouth to lung in this at all because of the space between the coil posts, rather. So, not really psyched about that. Granted, they have their whole line of mouth to lung tanks called the Berserker, so yeah, you could see the crossover / conflict of interest there. I don't know. I thought this was going to be my go-to tank, but I'd probably rather use the Kylin mesh because I prefer mesh to be honest. Mesh is so much easier, and it's actually easier to wick the Kylin mesh versus this one. I'd be interested to see the profile RTA. However, haven't gotten anything from Wotofo since before lockdown and COVID started, so that kind of sucks. Wish I got one in to try of that one. That's pretty much all I have to say about it, though. Just a little bit disappointed. I don't know what else to say. If you guys have any questions, of course, feel free. And I'll try to answer them as best as I can. Because I do have the original Kylin. I have the Kylin M. And I have the Kylin... Do I have the Kylin Mini? I don't know if I ever got the Kylin Mini. There was a little dead spot with Vandy Vape where I didn't get any of their products in for like almost a year. So I don't know why and or how I'm getting these now. I don't get emails from them or anything. They just show up. But I guess I shouldn't complain. The Requiem with the Barrage deck looks pretty cool. Oh, Thesis is salty. Oh. It's alright, Thesis. I had an RTA that I designed called the Requiem. And it was... I actually pitched it, but I pitched it to Hell Vape. So they didn't steal it, obviously. But I was pretty bummed that my RTA called the Requiem never came out. You guys would have been super stoked on it, I feel like. And I think the deck that I have designed, no one has made yet, still, to this day. So there's still a possibility that I could come out with an RTA with a unique airflow system. But that is... At this point, chances of that happening are almost slim to none with just how the industry is going. Bet your ass I'm salty. Hey, man, you know, everything has a lifespan, and you know what that means. It should light a fire under your ass, and you should design a 22mm version of it already, and a single coil or something. I don't know. You got to do the next one. There's always the next one in the line, and that's what you got to be working towards. You can never stop. You can't stop. Because, I mean, look at these guys. Like, do you ever think that, like, Billy or Brian or, you know, even Joel thought to themselves, like, yeah, I'll design a product, and if it's good, then, you know, that's cool, and I'll be done. I'll have my money, and I'll be okay with it, and I'll be done. Nah, man, it's always a process. So, yeah, you just gotta let that saltiness light a fire under your ass and just spark creativity and inspiration and just run with it. Because you bet your ass I would definitely, if I had a product out on the market, one, I would never stop pimping it. You guys would hate me. I'd pimp it so much. But also, I would always be coming up with the next product. I mean, very similar to how Stan operates. And also, it's China. China gonna clone. China gonna clone hard. And I had an interesting conversation here. Let's go back to this chat screen real quick, because we're getting way off topic now. But let's just go back to the chat screen. Whoop. And we'll refresh the chat box. And say this. I had a conversation one time with Dino and Cisco, the ones who made the brain fart Velocity. The two guys that designed the Velocity, right? If there's anything that's been more cloned ever, it's the Velocity. And I was having a conversation with them one time, and I was just like, so what do you guys think about all the clones that come out? Like, there's people trying to pass your design off, like, or their design off as authentic, and they're trying to say that they have like 1-to-1 and all this. They're just like, we don't care. We set a goal, we hit that goal and exceeded it, and we're happy with it. You know, we wanted to make this much money to recoup the expenses of production, and we hit that goal. So they were happy. And that's why they did pre-orders, and pretty much once they were sold out, they were sold out. They just wouldn't make any more for that batch. And I got in on the second batch of Velocities ever made, and I was super stoked on it. I was really happy because it was a lot of money, and it was a big commitment for me at the time. I mean, a lot of money in vape terms, you know, it was like $130. But yeah, they were basically just like, I don't care about anything else that happens with our design. We made our money. We're happy where we're at. We're not going to go chase them down. It's too much work. It's too much effort. They literally just only cared about their stuff, and they treating their customers right and warranting their products and helping the people that they, you know, purchased, or that who purchased them, basically. And, you know, occasionally they would come out with another batch, and that was cool because they're just like, okay, well, we got a ton of people knocking down our door trying to get a Velocity. Let's get these people more Velocities. And they would come out with another run of them. They didn't have to do that. No one pulled their, you know, twisted their arm and say, you got to do this. But they did it. And they did it because they love vaping, and they love the vaping community. And they didn't do it for a massive profit, because they probably weren't making that much off of these Velocities, because they were made with the top quality parts, and, you know, they were American designed and made. So I'm pretty sure they were American made. I actually don't know about that, so don't quote me. But either way, I'm pretty sure they were made in America, and that costs a lot of money. No matter what, even no matter if they were made in China, they cost a lot of money. Stuff costs a lot of money to produce. That's why it kind of pisses me off when I see Team Free shit at all the conventions, because, you know, if you really want to support a company, you would buy their product. And nothing really shows more of a dedication and loyalty to a company than, you know, not taking that free 60 mil or whatever and handing it off to someone who has never tried their product. That is the ultimate in, you know, promotion and selflessness, really. I mean, we're talking about human nature here. So yeah, here's your little tidbit of vaping history. And I know Bob said he likes hearing about vaping history. So yeah, that's. Oh, in the title I said my ear hates me, and the story behind that is, I was starting to feel not well. I really didn't feel good last weekend because I'm just running my body completely ragged with my schedule, because essentially I work 9 hours a day, come home, get a stream ready to go, and then stream for 5 or 6 hours into the wee hours of the morning, and do it all over again the next day. And the weekend, I sleep as much as I possibly can, sometimes falling asleep in this very chair. But that's besides the point. Between YouTube and Patreon and Twitch, I'm streaming roughly, probably, let's just go on average of about 5 hours a day. So that's like 35 hours a week, maybe more, plus shows and that kind of thing. So I think on Monday, or Sunday, I streamed for like 8 hours, something ridiculous like that. So anyways, yeah, my body hates me. I have just wore myself out, and I started not feeling well. And when I don't feel well, my ears don't like me. So my big dangly earlobes, they get pissed off with me, and they get infected. And I know that sounds really, really, really gross, and it is. They like swell up, and they're sore, and it's just gross and nasty. So I ended up taking one of my plugs out, and I essentially just let it rest for a few days. Now, to your surprise, my ears do actually shrink up when there's no plug in there. So after like 3 days of not having a plug in it, I went to pop a plug back in today, and it barely fit. And these are squishy silicone plugs. They like stretch, and they basically, I had to like pop it in, and that was not smart. You got to kind of work your way up a little bit, you know. So I'm pretty sure I popped a blood vessel in my ear now. It's not only just pissed off with me, but now I popped a blood vessel in it, and there's just a big nasty vein. Ooh, it hurts. It's super sore. It's all pissed off. So, note to anyone that has stretched ears or piercings out there: treat them nice. Don't force anything that should not be forced, and be good to your piercings overall. Warm salt water helps if you can rinse it with that. Normal soap and water in the shower, like regular antibacterial soap, just, you know. Well, no. You need foreplay for the lube, Sam. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. You gotta, like, treat it right. Treat it real nice. And, I will say, lube actually does help. I know that sounds wrong, but it's true. So that's my story for this week. What do you guys got going on? Anything interesting? You guys watching a bunch of streams this week? You guys playing video games? You back to work? What's the deal? I am curious. Maybe I jumped the gun a little bit, Jenny. Personal things going on this week. Nothing really planned. I actually am probably going to go head over Sam's house on Saturday to work on stuff, work on his overlay for Warzone, work on his lighting. I might bring him a strand of LEDs because I have a strand laying around with a power supply. I should probably do that just in case, because he's got like 60 feet of color changing, like customizable RGB like lights that are gonna go around his basement for his the background of his streams, and they haven't showed up from China yet, and we have no idea where they're being shipped from or anything, so we have no information on the matter. And he really badly needs some background lights in his basement / streaming zone layer, because it looks like he's in a dungeon. So I think I might bring over my lights that I have. I think I still have them kicking around, but I have a power supply with like probably 20 feet or so of lights, so that'll at least help. Jeremy Mashad says, have I tried jojoba oil? It helps a lot. Yes, I have done jojoba oil in the past, and if I was thinking about it today, I would have. I have vitamin E oil, or is it vitamin D? I think it's vitamin E. Either way, it's like oil, like natural oil that I use to, help my ears out in the winter. My skin gets really dry, and I have like scar and stretch mark oil that I use, and it works really well. And I should have used that, but I didn't, and I totally spaced that one. And I was kind of in a rush anyways because I was late for work, and just tried popping it in. Not smart. No. But yeah, jojoba oil is good. I've used like the H2 Ocean stuff for piercings, which is fine, but I still stand by the sea salt and warm water thing. You can just kind of dip your ear into it, and it kind of pulls all nasty shit out of your ears. And it's also a good reminder of you need to wash your ears. If anyone has ear lobey piercings, stretched ears, anything like that, you need to wash them daily in the shower, soap and hot water, warm water. Just quick, just beep, couple seconds. That's all. You know, it's all it takes to keep your ears in good health. Do as I say, not as I do. Also, the better plugs to use are surgical stainless steel or a natural stone or wood. Wood plugs are actually really good, especially because they do actually like pull anything out of your ear, like any infection or anything. It's gross again, but it will kind of help to pull stuff out of your ear. Acrylic plugs are some of the worst you can wear. They're just non-natural materials. I tend to prefer. I have a set of horn plugs. I have a set of what are those? Oh, I totally forgot the name of them. They're like a white opalite. I have a set of opalite plugs, and I have a couple sets of silicone. Silicone are the most comfortable. The stainless steel are the most durable, and everything else is just kind of for fashion, I suppose. The horn plugs are good because they're natural, but they're kind of getting a little bit chewed up with age, I guess. So almost time to replace those, methinks. I need some new plugs. That's what I need. Something to think about, I suppose. Should definitely get new plugs. I want to, like, for a time I wanted to go all black facial piercings. So, like, black nose ring, black lip piercings, black tunnels. But those, like, the anodization, sometimes, like, if you get cheap Chinese stuff, it's not good. So, the good jewelry costs quite a bit, and I like to use good jewelry. So, a nano metal, like, stud for my tongue, an 8 gauge in my size, would cost probably around $20 or $30, which sucks, but you know, you get the good stuff. You don't cheap out on your body. You know what I mean? Exactly. Jeremy knows exactly what I'm talking about. Cloudy King, that sounds like a personal problem. I'm sure someone would definitely whittle you one if you ask them nicely. Bob's a retired sailor with no tattoos. Come on, Bob. Dude, I have a huge anchor that it goes from my chest all the way down to my freaking gut. I have so many nautical themed tattoos, and I've stepped on a boat before, but you know, never spent a lot of time on a boat. Nautical, I mean, more or less. I mean, my whole, like, my plan is, at least, is to tie the anchor in with other sort of naval kind of pieces, like old school Sailor Jerry sort of tattoos, where on one side I want a pinup girl with a World War II fighter, like naval fighter that would take off of an aircraft carrier, and on the other side another pinup girl with a battleship, and just make those into like two separate scenes, and just kind of tie it all together with flowers and stars and stuff like that. But it'll take up most of the space, so it won't be too much filler necessary. But that's a plan for, like, I don't know when I'll get around to it, to be honest with you, because I haven't been tattooed in probably about almost 10 years now, so I need to get some pieces finished. Apparently B already ordered something. Oh, wait a minute. Are we talking about what Cloudy King Cody was talking about? I sure hope not. Oh, are you talking about this thing? I was like, wow, someone's being very open in chat. A little bit disappointed in the Kylin. It looks really cool, and it functions all right. Now the flavor on it's all right, but it just doesn't. there's a few little things about it that I'm not too psyched on. The draw is a little bit weird. It feels like you're pressurizing the tank every time you take a pull on it, because the outside airflow doesn't match the underside airflow. If you don't get the cotton perfect, it's going to leak, and it has happened to me already. I'm not psyched about that either. Really don't like the top cap being like a 4-threaded top cap and not like a quick release kind of thing. Like, they have the coolest airflow in the world, or coolest looking airflow in the world, but with a standard threaded top cap. Why? Make it a bayonet style. Quarter turn, lift, done. So much easier. But the flavor's fine. Flavor's alright. I mean, it's not the best ever, but it's not the worst ever. It's easy enough to build as long as you wrap underhanded. Because the way I wrap coils overhanded, the legs don't line up right. You have to wrap underhanded so that one leg goes here, one leg goes here. Because the way I wrap it would be the opposite. Well, if you got it for 25 bucks, you know what? I need to start mentioning that as well at the end of my videos. If I didn't get this one in for review, would I have purchased this one? Sight unseen, I would say yes, because it looks nice. It looks nice. It has the aesthetic that I'm going for. You know, I kind of like the little ridges at the top, kind of. They're not great. They could have been knurling, but whatever. But it looks really nice. But now that I've had it, I'm going to say no, unfortunately. I would say I'm going to stick to the mesh, personally. Now, that is to say that, you know, you'll still enjoy it. You'll still like it. But I just don't see it having the lasting power like some of the other RTAs that I've used that I've had a really good experience with. And Daryl says, I hope it's better, or is it better than the intake? I never got the intake, so I don't know. It sucks because I'm not like a big time reviewer, so I don't get all these products in. I show you guys what I get, and I can compare what I've used, but I cannot comment on what I haven't used, don't have personal experience, or even third-hand experience with. So I wish I could tell you if it's better than the intake or not, but I can't, because I've never used it. I don't think I've ever even seen it. Do you know how rare it is for people to come into my store and ask for an RTA? We had a person today ask for an RTA, probably the first one in a couple of weeks. And my boss was there at the time, and he goes, wait, you really want to do a rebuildable? And they're like, yeah, I love building, blah, blah, blah. It's like, kind of taken aback from it. And I can totally understand that mentality, because it's just a super, super rare thing when you get someone that actually wants to build their own coils. I have a 3.5 millimeter inner diameter coil, and I still feel like it's too small. I would probably say 4, or maybe even 4.5 inner diameter. But that's just crazy. Personal suggestion, I don't know. 3.5 is decent, but it's not ideal. I still say it could go a little bit bigger and be a little bit better. But you just have to be careful, because the bigger the coil you have, the thicker your cotton's going to be, and then you have to really thin it out on the sides, because the sides, they want a 3 millimeter coil and a 3 millimeter thick. Well, actually, it would be like a little thicker than that, but whatever thickness of cotton you would use for a 3 millimeter coil is what will fit in the like little wicking channels. So even my 3.5 millimeter, I had to thin out a little bit. And if you're doing a 4 or 4.5 millimeter, you're going to have to thin it out a lot. So just be warned about that. Wicking is an absolute science when it comes to this thing. And it's not something I'm into at the moment. Like, I really don't want something that I have to do math and figure out, you know, how to do it. So just more of a pain than anything else. Last time I walked into a vape shop, they told me no one rebuilds anymore. That is why I don't go into vape shops anymore for hardware. I hate to say it, but it's kind of true, because any vape shop is just not gonna hold up to that type of customer. Whenever I have someone come in and ask for something like the newest, latest, and greatest, something they saw on Instagram, or, you know, they asked me for a, what's that thing? Damn it. Brain fart again. That's like, what, 3, 4 in the show? Whenever they ask me for a topside, someone comes in, they go, hey, do you guys have topsides? I'm like, yeah, you're in the wrong shop, buddy. Like, it's just, no. We can't specialize, unfortunately. I mean, it's not my shop, but I know profit margins. I know how everything works. And it's like, you know, you could probably get a topside, like a single topside, you could probably get for around $50 online nowadays. And we'd have to charge them $75, maybe more, just because we'd be ordering them from a different distributor, and that would cost us more, and we wouldn't get the same price breaks, and blah, blah, blah. Just, you can't do it. Especially the small mom and pop kind of shops, like the real small, like single owner shops that are just own one vape shop. It's going to be damn near impossible for them to carry absolutely everything. Daryl says pod shops, and yeah, that's pretty much what we carry. We carry 18 different types of pod systems and about 5 different mods. Maybe a few more. Let's say 10. But yeah, that's just how it goes, man. Profit margins are thin enough as it is, and the market is super sketchy right now, so people don't want to invest in their own shops. People don't want to invest in a lot of product because it moves so fast, and if it doesn't sell, then you're left with it. And we've gotten that before, where I still have Kanger tanks, dude. Like the original Kanger sub-tank. I still have them. I have Aero tanks. I have an Aerotank Giant sitting at my shop right now. You guys, one day I'll just do, like, I don't know, a tour or something, or I'll just bring a bunch of stuff home that we have laying around the shop and just look at it, because just for nostalgia's sake. But it's all brand new in the box. If I ran a shop, I would do things a little bit differently, because I know what the market's doing and my boss doesn't. And obviously, seeing that it's not my shop, I really don't have much of a say, even though I know what's going on and he doesn't. He just doesn't listen to me, or he's just going to be like, oh, it's too expensive or whatever. He just doesn't take me seriously. He still, like, laughs and jokes and makes fun of me for even having a YouTube channel, which is unfortunate, because, I don't know, I feel like I still have the teeniest bit of influence. Sam knows. Sam is my coworker. He says relics. Yeah. But yeah. I definitely agree with you guys, man. Trust me, I agree with you guys. It's just, unfortunately, oh boy, Mowgli is hitting the nail on the head, and it's kind of sad in this day and age. It's the glass shop with a single nicotine vaping display case, bought mid-level junk when they started, and still have it for over double price of what it cost when it was relevant. $175 for a $60 kit. Well, that would be in Massachusetts, yes. Does he even vape? In fact, he does. But he literally only Juuls, and he only uses mango. And yes, he still has a stash of mango pods, because when Juul was hot, he bought probably 1,000 Juul starter kits. Or it was like on the downtick of the Juul, because people were getting rid of them. So he bought like 1,000 Juul starter kits, and now every so often he'll make us go into the back, pop out the little starter pack of pods that you get, and pop out the mango pods and just leave them in a box for him. And just he'll come by the shop and just grab a handful of them and leave. So yeah, he vapes, but that's how he vapes. So he does not give a shit about anything else in the vape industry. All he sees is SKUs and numbers and profit margins. But that's almost every vape shop owner. I mean, there's a few of them that I know personally that are super duper cool, like my buddy Tony from Bay State Vapor. Super awesome guy, caters to customers, buys the right stuff most of the time, and, you know, has a really cool shop. Unfortunately, it's in Massachusetts, so now that he's selling mostly CBD and glass and stuff to vape slash smoke, or smoke stuff out of, and or vape stuff out of, I guess. Gotta mention Chad as well. Chad actually, one of his pictures went sort of viral. He had a picture up in his window that said, closed due to government overreach and not accepting science or something like that. It had like a little saying on it that kind of went viral. It showed up on a lot of like news outlet websites and stuff, which is kind of funny. But same deal with Chad. Chad definitely caters to customers. He'll do like, you know, discounts and stuff for people. So it's like a lot of these small town shop guys really are more in it for the people and less in it for themselves. And I really appreciate that. But my boss isn't. He doesn't give a shit. He won't even see this video. So there you go. You know, that shows how much he cares about the vaping industry. Yeah. Oh, we could sell dog shit in a bottle and still sell to mass because it's a flavor. Unfortunately, I know that sounds horrible, but we do sell some good juice. We sell some awesome juice, and I'm happy that we do, and we have a ton of flavors. So we sell good juice, and I think our prices are fairly reasonable. But it's just for the fact that we cannot cater to everybody. Everyone is coming down from 15 different shops that were in the area, coming to our store now, and are basically trying to get us to buy the stuff that they were used to for them. And that's not going to happen. I'm telling you that right now. It's not possible. It's not going to happen. We sell what we sell, and occasionally, you know, we'll pick up something if it's easy enough for us, like if it's from our distributor, then we might be able to get it for you. But if it's from some random juice company from, you know, far away, then we probably won't. You know, we get a lot of requests, and there's also a lot of shops down down our street, you know? So they carry certain things and we carry certain things, and we try to have as little overlap as possible. I mean, shit, the street right down the shop right down the street sells fake puff bars, and they know it, we know it, their customers know it, everyone knows it. People still go in there and buy those things. Fake ass puff bars. I mean, we sell a shitload of disposables, but that is what is selling right now, because that's what the industry is pushing. And it's some of your favorite companies in the vape world have their hand in the disposable industry, and you don't even know it. So just keep that in mind too. There are branches of certain companies that are just kind of grabbing that cash cow, which is the disposable world. So it sucks, but that's what's hot right now. And until that train decides to get derailed by the FDA or whoever, that's just what it is. And I hate saying that, because I hate the establishment and I hate the conformity of it, but it's just, we can't help it. There's nothing we can do. So, yeah, I've already rambled on for way too long. I'm glad you guys are interested in the back end side of things of the vape industry. Voodoo, I don't carry anything by Nasty Juice. I don't like. Look, there's a billion juice companies out there, and I carry a small section of them. But literally, our shelves are so packed right now that we have to get rid of perfectly good juice and put it in the bargain bin to make room for other juice. So, and we have a wall to wall. It's probably around 30 feet or so. 30 feet long by about 6 or 7 feet high with like 5 shelves and deep too. We're talking, I have probably 15 bottles of Naked on the shelf at all times, deep. That's per milligram per flavor as well. So there's like probably 1,000 bottles of Naked on the shelf at all times. But yeah, that's kind of the state of the vape shop industry. Maybe that's what I could do. A little vape shop update sort of thing. Not so much like a this week in the vape shop, but just a kind of here's what's going on at vape shops because I work at one sort of thing. But yeah, day in the vape shop is more just me complaining. I know. I'm horrible. I should not really do just complaining, but it's usually just little stories that happen around the vape shop. And I always end up forgetting stuff that happens because, I mean, we had the crackheads a couple weeks ago. That was entertaining. Let's see. No, I'm going to save that. I'm going to save it for Friday. Yeah. Just remember the 2 guys from the fish place, okay? Remind me of that story, and I'll tell you that story on Friday during Vape Stew. 2 guys from the fish place. Because my memory is shot by the end of the week. But how often do I visit other vape shops for curiosity's sake? Never. Only other vape shops I go to are Tony's and Chad's. Tony's and Chad's. The only other 2 vape shops I really go to. Every other vape shop I've heard horrible things about. So, yeah. Anyways, it is time for Warzone Wednesday. I've been yapping now forever. Probably boring you guys to death. But make sure you guys drop a like on the video. It does still actually help me out. And help me a little bit by bumping me up in some search queues. So if you could drop a like on the video, I'd be very appreciative. Big shout out to all the people that subscribed over the past week. We have Ryan Boyce. We have Joshua Davidson. We have Kyle Z. Let's see, setting a couple more up here. Let's see. I'm not even going to mention this one because I see all these all the time. Trying to get 500 subs without content. Ugh, come on. King Yen Castellanos. King Yuen. Yeah. Pronunciation, not my strong suit. We also have Michael Fournier. I don't know. It's a good question. But there we go. That's our weekly subs this week. Make sure you, like I said, hit that like button on the way out the door. Check out my website, dailyvape.tv, if you want to find the link to purchase one of these for yourself. Make sure you check out my live stream directly after this. We got Warzone Wednesday with Sam, my coworker slash streaming partner over there on Twitch. His name is twitch.tv slash headshot _heady. And my Twitch is twitch.tv slash slightly buzzed. All one word. I also have a Discord for that content as well, which I will drop a link to in chat right now. So if you guys want to be a part of my gaming server on there and you're on Discord. Oh, look at that. Jenny Sin is on top of it tonight with the links. But yeah, if you guys want to jump over to Discord, you can come check that out and hang out with me over there. Occasionally, I'll pop into the hangout zone, and I'll even have people hanging out on stream with me, so you can hear your voice. And that's about it for this week, guys. I have merch for sale. Hoodie weather is coming. Get yourself a nice Fresh Build Friday hoodie, and remember the days where I used to do those videos. You can also become a patron and support me. Patreon.com/DailyVapeTV. And all that good stuff. And yes, well, see, Jenny got the Patreon out before the merch. Still, very well done, Jenny. You reminded me to mention those two as well. So if you want to become a patron, it starts at $1 a month. You can get in on the Coffee Talk live streams that I do on Sundays, and also game night on Mondays, and all that good stuff. So make sure you check that out, as well as these sweet hoodies. They're cool. And they're very cozy for this chilly weather. Anyways, I'm out of here, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, vape on.